Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Villagrana, and in this video, Sir Kim and I will be presenting to you the complexity theory, language attitudes, and language awareness. Before that, let us have a glimpse at the perspective of Confucius on knowing. When you know, to know you know. When you don't know, to know you don't know. That's what knowing is. One of the reasons why complexity theory in language exists is the teacher's inconsistency in grammatical correction. For example, a Chinese PhD student's supervisor corrected the preposition on to in the first draft of a chapter. The student duly made the various corrections required by the supervisor, including changing the on to in, and resubmitted his draft to the supervisor. He was amused but baffled when it was returned to him when the in changed back to on. Have you ever had similar experiences when you wrote in an additional language? Your answers and opinions will depend on your own experiences. Whatever your answers, you may have been reminded that no natural language is ready for decontextualized standardization. Now, let us go through the complexity theory and global communication. It provides a metaphoric heuristic to understand the mechanism of changing process during and beyond human lifespans. It is a meta-theory or a theory about theories or notions. Its major limitation, accordingly, is that it requires theories or notions which refer directly to the empirical world for the purpose of grasping target phenomena. To this effect, ELF, or the English as a multilingua franca, or EMF, was introduced. EMF, or the English as a multilingua franca, is akin to another notion of translanguaging, in heeding how our social practices transcend or transgress the boundaries of ideologically named multiple languages. At the same time, EMF and translanguaging accord closely with the notions of transcultural and transmodal communication. The transcultural questions the fixed scope of named cultures which interactants move through and across, while transmodal indexes the simultaneous and collaborative use of meaning-making modes, often including language, as prominent in digital communication in particular. Translanguaging is also one of the themes in English as a lingua franca. It is the focusing on how bilinguals and multilinguals understand, interact with, and challenge society, questioning the existence of innumerable languages at the cognitive level. Complexity theory is about autonomous complex adaptive systems or CAS, or emergent and ever-changing systems, influencing each other in accordance with a diachronically and synchronically variable ecology. Unlike other systems, CAS by definition are never clear-cut or independent, but emergent from collective social activity, dynamically adaptive and thus endlessly changing. Complexity theory allows us to view the interplay within and across language, culture, and mode. In a broad, rough scope, language, culture, and mode themselves are interacting with each other with fuzzy boundaries. They are working in relation to the social context. We should immediately add that an attempt to view language, culture, or mode as a system is artificial for the purpose of helping researchers to study communication. In the first place, again, complexity theory is a meta-theory to lend a hand to analysis of real-world phenomena rather than depict how the real world is actually perceived. As argued in the previous section, complexity theory offers a meta-lens to conjoin EMF, translanguaging, and transcultural and transmodal communication while illustrating the nonlinear, dynamic, and emergent nature of global communication. Within this larger picture, we will now review the global role of what has long characterized English communication in applied linguistics, namely the standard English in ELT and communicative competence. The standard English in ELT seeks to enshrine a fixed set of their conventions independently of a global milieu. It separates language as if it were a sole communication mode, thereby not giving full attention to how meaning is created and interpreted during interaction. All these points seem rather enigmatic in the light of complexity theory. Complexity theory goes against prescribing and applying one-size-fits-all rules, linguistic or otherwise. Instead, this meta-theory sees communicative norms as contextually embedded and subjectively mediated, and therefore as emergent rather than predetermined. In the communicative competence in applied linguistics, the communicative competence deems social, linguistic, and cultural elements of English communication to be stable and predictable. Unlike an ever-changing process and non-linearity in complexity theory. As with the standard English in ELT, this natural notion predicates itself on idealized local Anglophone speech communities and concentrates on monolingual language use with nonverbal modes viewed as compensation strategies. Next is the multi-competence. It is the knowledge of multilingual and multicultural resources. It is a concept in second language acquisition formulated by Vivian Cook that refers to the knowledge of more than one language in one person's mind. That's it for the discussion of the first and second part of our topic. The next part will be explicated by Sir Kim.